this can't be the last time that I see you. It can't be true. Hold back honest words, they just hold you down. It can't be true. Together, forever. Together, we are one. Your soft heart glows in the hot falling rain. In the night we can light up again. Sail with me from the troubles in our lives. Sail today before you go away. Why do we talk of other things? Pull back the carpet, hide the pain. Hold back our fears from entering. We shut the curtains every day. Together, forever. Together, we are one. You could call me a dreamer, trapped in your world forever. Throw away the key. Our innocence looked on. I am coming, running back to you, back for good. We will talk of everything, rip up the carpet.
So yesterday we were TB testing. We ran a load of bullocks down this passage here, out of this door and into the pen down here. And these naughty heifers were stood at a gate here that we've since taken off because they rammed it to run. Obviously everyone was wound up and they rammed it and tried to run after them, completely bust the gate and had it swinging off its hinges. But it's broken all the breeze blocks and completely bent this, like completely, honestly, completely bent it. It's ridiculous. So I'm stood here holding the fort because we can't keep them back to scrape out. Roy's just said he's going to get in touch with someone about one of them, what they call H gates that lift up, that make it a lot safer. Just had the tiniest little lamb-born. Look at this. Look at this little dot. Honestly, look how big it is. It's so small. Decided we don't have a bill spike, so he's just going to do a Tom Pemberton and stick it on the pallet forks. Merlo life! I have a really big issue. Well, I have two really big issues. One is this cow, and two is dwarf calf. We had TB test yesterday, and I asked, just watching that cow. I asked the vet to have a look at dwarf calf, and she said dwarf calf is not viable. It's not going to get any better. It's no good. Dwarf calf needs putting to sleep. Fine. Very sad. I kind of knew the inevitable answer eventually. I've been milking the cow out, I'm tubing the calf. It can't suck, it can't stand. It's getting weaker kind of by the day when its muscles aren't forming properly. Anyway, I also asked her about causes of dwarfism, like manganese levels, like a deficiency, and she said it's never been proven. There's talks about it, but that isn't the primary cause of it. It's just a genetic defect. It's nothing you've done wrong, which makes me feel a whole lot better because you always think it's something you've done wrong. The second problem is this cow. I'll very briefly show you why, and then I'll clear off out the shed. This cow, not a nice cow. I can't even do it. Like, it's no point in stressing her out and me out. She's not a nice cow at all. She was going to be calving yesterday, and Roy put her in a pen because she was pinching, which was fine, so she was already penned up. She lost her calf last year, and at a couple of days old, and we didn't think anything of it. She was fairly tame before that. She was all right. We saw last night, probably about maybe 11:30, 12 o'clock, that the cow had calved. Roy said, I'll go out and just check on it. She'd nosed the calf out of the pen. So Roy undid the gate to push the calf back under because it was in the pen with dwarf calf. And she went mad. She rammed the gate. Fortunately, the gate hit the wall and created like a triangle in the corner, knocked Roy, the cow, and the calf out of the way. She was going mental. I got a tiny, tiny little bit of this on video because I was watching the Livestock Eye at the same time as this. So I got a tiny little bit of it on video. So I'll put it in. You can't clearly see what's going on other than you can see this big, large cow looking very cross at Roy. And Roy stood in the corner ringing me saying, shit, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do and I can't get out because he can't fit over the wall. I can fit over the wall, you see, he can. That cow's a massive issue and we actually have to TB test her on Friday. So I'm hoping she's calmed down by then. Otherwise there's going to be serious issues because at the minute you can't go near. Fortunately, she shoved the calf out of the pen again this morning. So I managed to put iodine on its navel. Otherwise that calf wasn't even getting iodine on its navel because she's that nasty. If we were in sucklers long term, she'd be gone. She'd be going now. Fortunately, we are now, as you know, going into dairy and they're going anyway. So we won't need to put up with it anymore. But that's a hard no for a cow in our book. Having something like that on the farm is dangerous. She was fine last year, actually. She may be slightly questionable, but nothing noteworthy. But she lost a calf and it sent her a little bit, cross at people. That she obviously thinks we're going to take a calf. But yeah, she's a massive problem right now. So I can't go in, can't straw. Anytime I'm going to need to, on a separate note, I'm going to need to put down dwarf calf. I have tried. It's quite sad. And then I will, in the most Hannibal Lecter way, I will skin dwarf calf and I will go and get a dairy calf from somewhere, whether it be across the road at Malcolm's or down the road at Chapel House, someone like that. I'll give everyone a ring and see if there's any calves available. And I will skin dwarf calf, put it onto a new dairy calf because she has got a hell of a bag on her. Like she could feed 2 calves if she wanted. And then I'll hopefully give her a very able-bodied baby to be able to bring up. I will document that process. I've done lambs. I don't see why I should hide from you the fact that I do calves as well. They're a lot bigger, probably slightly more unpalatable for the general public, but you know what? In the interest of education, I will show you. I will show you me doing it. Similar process, to be honest, just on a larger scale. And I do hang, maybe I won't show you. I'm going to do it. I do hang them as well. Just so it's easy to pull the skin down because they're so big and you end up rolling around the floor and they get dirty and stuff. So yeah, I will, I'll show you. I will show you when I do it, but I'm not doing it yet. Anyway, it's just what it is, isn't it? This is Myra the cow. Some of you might remember her from the one that had cancer on her eye. I'll show you it. Can you see? Sit still, little girl. Yes, I know. Don't get cross. It's going back a little bit. It's one of our old cows. She's actually, she's going this time. She is not in calf. Usually these cows, as we are a suckler farm and not a dairy farm, we don't use teat sealant or anything like that. Anyway, she's got mastitis in one of her quarters. She was going anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Vet came, obviously TB testing yesterday, and she needs 3 days of this, Comiclav, to hopefully just bring her swelling down a little bit and help her fight the infection that's in her udder. Yeah, she's not actually taking any harm with it, to be honest. But yeah, she needs just a little bit of help to fight it. Anyone seen that new YouTube channel? Well, not so much new, a couple of weeks old, Evie Gibbons. She'll last from literally Lancashire down the road from us. She's a dairy farmer. She's got a Instagram, you might see her if you're on Instagram. I'm finding her channel really insightful, like a really good advocate for the industry, someone young, someone passionate about farming. They're doing it properly. You know, that she's a really good front woman for British agriculture. They're not cutting corners and just winging it, you know, they're doing it properly, they're making a good job, and I think she's a really good front woman. So yeah, if you haven't already checked her out, I'll put a bio in this. I follow her on Instagram because she's a model as well, so she's really fit. I like looking at her. That sounded really wrong, didn't it? I'll leave that in. But yeah, from a dairy perspective, she's really interesting to watch. Like a small family-run farm where they're all getting involved. You know, there's the dad, the son, the daughter-in-law. Like, I love it. Honestly, I love it. That is my kind of bag. That is my kind of viewing. She won't use this anyway because they're a dairy farm and you're not allowed to throw any antibiotics. They swear at you if you get antibiotics in your milk. A common misconception: there are no antibiotics in milk. Can I just throw that out there? Seriously, if you put an antibiotic cow and you let it into that tank, oh, holy hell, you are in trouble. Like, seriously. Like, Chaz, where we get these calves from, they don't have it. Like, they just don't have it. Like, we've got a cupboard full of it and we use it for all sorts of stuff. They just do not have it. They don't use it. I think they use a bit of pen strep if they need to. That's about it. And when they do, like, that cow is, the milk goes nowhere. It's just a common misconception. Pus and antibiotics in your milk. Absolute rubbish. Misconceptions about farming in general when things are banded around by, you know, the alternative non-meat eating brigade. You know, antibiotics and pus in your milk. Put the truth out there and let people make their own minds up. Don't try and sway them with untruths and lies. Rolling the sheep back. It's not a glamorous job, is it? I'm just rolling the sheep back for anyone who's interested. This is how much silage is left in this pit. And then we've got that one over there. I dare say we can barely even take a chunk out of that and leave it in. Don't know what the weather's going to do. Speaking to Kyle before he's coming to put some fert on, do not know what the weather's going to do, and we could need that, yeah? It could be a really crappy year and we could not get a good cut off. It's going to roll. As you can see, the sheet's right at the end. For those of you who don't know silage bit, I'm just going to roll it back. I did TB test video yesterday, and it obviously, as always, anytime you mention TB, it completely bombs. I can't hide it, it's part of life, and it's just something that farmers have to go through, especially when you're in a hotspot area. I cannot deny that we have to TB test every 6 months. It's a pain in the ass. I absolutely hate it. I don't suppose people like the stress, seeing us stressed about it, but it is just one of those things. It doesn't involve shiny machinery, it doesn't involve cute lambs. I can see why it isn't palatable to watch on YouTube, but it is what it is. It's a massive problem for farmers in the UK, honestly, a massive problem. And I know people get bored about hearing about it, and a lot of people have serious misconceptions. I was on the phone last night to a friend of ours, Harriet, and she said she'd seen an article on the internet that said that farmers are lying when they say that badgers transmit TB. What? The internet. People can say and put out what they want with no repercussions, no fact checking. Like, literally, they give you a headline, farmers lie, and people take it as gospel. That's the truth. It's very much not the truth. That's like me telling you the sky is pink. It's not, it's very cloudy. Farmers personally that have gone down with TB, it isn't a nice subject. It's not something nice that they have to go through, and I think it is deserving of talking about. I don't think we should shy away from it. Badgers do transmit TB, tuberculosis, bovine tuberculosis, and so do deer, to be honest. And I think rats and maybe hares, maybe. I'll fact check that. Anyway, it is just a fact of life. Farmers don't have an anti-badger agenda. It's just crazy to even think that against. It's just it's just wildlife. It's not something that really affects us greatly, apart from the fact that it gets to roam around the countryside freely, transmitting a disease that severely affects British farming. Really severely affects British farming. It can have such a massive impact on a herd. The other bit I don't understand, I can never get my head around, Why? Fair enough, you like the animals and you don't like to think of them being culled. You're okay to see it happen to cows and have them culled, but not okay to see it happen to badgers. So TB can be also transmitted to deer, pigs, goats, that kind of thing. And I can't see why anybody would be okay with allowing it to transmit to anything, regardless of it being black and white or black and white, for instance. Like, the badgers don't just pass it to the cows, the badgers pass it to the badgers. That's the bit I don't understand why people wouldn't want this stopped. They live for years with it, passing it around, and then when they make it to like a later stage of TB, they just die of emaciation and die. Like, they just don't eat and die. It's awful. And I don't understand why anybody would want that for an animal. I can't get my head around why these people think they're protecting something, and in fact, they're just causing further infection to its fellow badgerettes. I think it's very much become a class thing that's seen as like very much like the anti-hunting kind of brigade, maybe the anti-sabs and all that go after these people that are trail hunting. They're not going after people because they're hunting, they're going after them because it's basically sport for them to hunt the rich people. I think that's what it is, and that's coming from a commoner from Preston, so don't shoot me. I think it very much is like a class divide of the rich people want to kill the badgers. All farmers are rich, they drive Land Rovers. This is not the case. Trust me, this is not the case. I guarantee those hunting saboteurs have a better car than we do. To be honest, this is the kind of car that you'd see pulled out of a dike in Lincolnshire for hare coursing. We don't do that, by the way. I'm just saying it's a car. It's just, I don't know, if I wanted to drum up a massive big argument in the comments section, I would post this on TikTok and hashtag badger culling it. That's how easy it is, if I'm honest. Because people have such strong feelings about it, but not a lot of knowledge. And definitely not a lot of inside knowledge, which I think is the important thing to have. Non-biased knowledge as well. Like, I am aware of what goes on around the TB situation, and I am not like, some culling advocate. It's a very divisive subject, if I'm honest, especially amongst farmers. I got through an invitation today and I was like, yeah, this is so exciting, to Great Eccleston show where they do tractor pulling. If you watch Joe Seals' video, I think maybe, did Ollie go as well? I think he might have done. Yeah, he did, he went tractor pulling. Last year, it looked super exciting, and I remember thinking at the time, oh my God, I wish I was going. Anyway, I've got an invite. There's going to be loads of us going. Joe, hopefully Ollie. They're going to do a bit of a meet and greet kind of thing. Gina Sammett's going to be there actually tractor pulling. Oh my God, super excited for that. That's the bit that I'm most excited about. Honestly, she's just lovely. Gorgeous, Gina. Inky, you look terrified. I'm not laughing, I swear, I'm not laughing. Right, kids, I'm really very wet. Thank you for watching yet again. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow when we will be spreading fertiliser and killing and skinning a calf. Just what more could you want from life? Seriously.